Chapter 12. The weather is nice today. The wind can't touch me in the car. The icy wind has disappeared and taken over by the warm breeze that delights all young people. The weather is good today. Thinking Coda, how life can be turned upside down, with such tremendous upheavals, I do not understand. It is not understandable. I live an underwater life, where all my qualities float above water. The waves are my dividing line between everything I hold dear. Am I drowning, or am I swimming towards the surface? It changes, every day, every eternal day. I often reflect on the answer, but always wonder if I find the right answer above the waterline, or hidden on the seabed. Maybe I should look at the fish I swim with. Maybe happiness is neither the bottom nor the surface. Maybe luck is something to tread water with? Thinking Coda, looking over at Nayagi kicking the dashboard. She is very bored. Coda looks down at the clock. 19:07, he murmurs. Nayagi looks up at the man. She says nothing. The eyes say it all. Coda nods and at the same time looks for the first and best place to stop the vehicle. An exit. The large neon sign glitters in the dark. They are 1 kilometer away and yet Coda can see the letters clearly from the illuminated sign. It's okay, I guess. She says. Coda hears the hunger pang at the hissing sound. She acts like an angry cat. Lures the hand in, close, then attacks. Coda spins off. Finds a secluded parking space. He locks the car behind him. Locks one more time. Legs are sore after sitting down. The back is tired. Their hands meet. Coda tightens her fingers around the small hand. Together they walk towards the cafe. It is furnished nicely. Brown floor, assembled with thick joints. Coda looks around. There are a lot of people. No one who breaks the norm. Many families. No suit. Coda notes. Once again, he presses the lock function for the car. Go up and order what you want. The code for the card is 6,000. And order whatever you want. As much as you want. The same for me. Coda lets go of her hand. Watching the girl walk over to the counter, which is located behind a large glass display case. He looks up at the long digital signs. Numbers. Italics. Tourist friendly. Coda. He finds a secluded place. Several of the families have sat down at the same table. There is a lack of space. Only a few single tables are available. She stands on tiptoe to reach the card reader. Coda looks at her proudly. Many look up to him, as if they are judging his appearance. Coda discreetly looks down on himself. Marks on his body. Dirty, but nothing unusual. He takes out the phone. Opens the camera. Clearly see what the other guests are looking at. Why he has become a talking point. A long line runs down from his forehead to his chin. Blood. Bruises on the knuckles. Yellow stroke on the temple. The bridge of the nose is torn up. No messages in his notification filter. Coda turns off the phone. Actively chooses to ignore the many stares. Covers the ears. Nayagi comes waltzing. She's tired. Assessing Coda. I saw they had a motel. What do you say we spend the night there, until tomorrow? For tomorrow? Why not until next week? Yes, of course only until tomorrow. Don't you remember I said you repeat things, or say things that don't matter? This is one of them. Is it coming from Nayagi? A bomb goes off. I think we need to get some food in you before we talk more. I can hear your blood sugar is low. Little laughs Coda. The food is coming. Placed on the table, they immediately start eating. Coda himself feels the hunger. Pours the food into itself. Nicely, he holds back after the first 3 forestfuls. Remember now, no elbows on the table. That's what my mother says. Dishes Nayagi. She puts down her chopsticks. Tip the ice water in it. Carefully, like a bird sipping in the bird bath. Now remember that you also have to get rid of the nagging. Have a brea, K. It looks nicest. Continues Nayagi. Her tone is reproachful. Teaching. That shows you have self-control. The other one looks so greedy. I say this only for your own good. A lady will never ever accept that. Whenever you're going on a date. Are you up to it now? Laughs Coda. He puts down his chopsticks. Okay then, what now? Do I have to sit and wait a minute, or is there a specific time rule your mother told you about? I'm happy to wait. See, my hands don't touch anything. I don't chew on anything. Coda brings his hands up over the table. Close up of Nayagi's face. She looks down at the table. A tear rolls from her face. All I wanted was to help you. You must always criticize me. She sobs. The other guests begin to glare at Coda. I miss my mother, she is dead, and as soon as you criticize her, I feel bad. She sobs the last words. Brings the hands up to the eyes. Coda looks at her startled. He can't control his hands. Placing a hand on her shoulder. Hey, I'm listening. You weren't meant to be upset. You know me, you know I'm kidding. I must eat properly, as your mother would have it. Nayagi bashes the arm away. thumb up in the air as if she were to locate a taxi. Sobbing converts to laughter. The girl is in strong convulsions. She points. Kota looks around. Confused glances are shared in the close cafe. He folds down the blinders, pulling Naegi to him from her skimpy shirt. What we agreed on stopped. Kota whispers. Seriously. Naegi thrashes out of his grasp. Wipes the laugh from the lips. The dimples are still visible. You are still easy to tease. Fun too. You must stop seeing everything in such black and white terms. She looks around. Did you think it was embarrassing? Is that why you react so angrily? Don't care. We don't know them and will never meet them again. But now I meant what I said. If you eat properly, the ladies will love you. I have a girlfriend, answers Kota. He continues his eating. The one who had a boyfriend. For her, you can forget. If she didn't mind when you had a boyfriend, of course she does mind you now. It's nothing new. It's just one thing she's after. And it is? Kota. He doesn't like the answer, while curiosity stands with one ear pinned to the door. What you have in your pants. If that's what she got before, then that's what she wants again. I think she's just afraid to share it. But we will probably have to change that. I think you should go to bed. Early to bed, and then we don't talk about it anymore. Answers Kota. Naegi opens his mouth to speak. Immediately Kota says, and that was it. She interprets from the sour face that the man does not want to hear more. It has been a long day. The heat leaps over them. New people, new acquaintances. Kota waddles with the little girl over to the accommodation. Most expensive room. He squeals, still grumpy from the food. This is not the Radisson. But I can give you a more expensive room with a view of the forest. It costs 5,200 yen extra. Would you be interested in that? Sounds alright. Does it need to be moved up to a guest bed? Asks the lady at the counter. She is old, wrinkled skin that looks like wet cowhide. Behind her are pictures of a young woman. In black and white, a slim man puts an arm around her. Kota drops back into the conversation. He looks down at Naegi. She replies, no, it's not necessary. We can easily share. Well then, you just pay for a single night? Yes, just for one night. Answers Kota. Well, the room is on the other side of the building. Second floor, last door. Tells the lady. Kota swings the card. 7,000. He tells inside his head. The road up there is long. Heavy. Both have lead in their shoes. Warm food in the stomach. It activates the gallbladder. Fatigue is overpowering them both. Kota puts the shoes inside the door. Immediately, he pushes Naegi into the bathroom. Brushes teeth with the complementary products. It doesn't take long before they are both in bed. The world turns black. The dreams begin. Kota wakes up, instinctively, like a cat that hears the mouse crawling on the wall. Everything is dark. Quietly, Kota is listening. Nothing. A whisper. It creaks. There must be some. Thinking Kota, he tries to interpret the senses. Is it in the room? No. He concludes. Kota slips out of the hard bed. The floor is cold. Kota slips into the bathroom. Leaning against the wall, the lock rattles. Slowly the door opens. Kota reacts. His heart rate rises. The pupils dilate. Hand over mouth. He listens. Closes eyes. There are many footprints. Everyone wears those shoes. Maybe weapons. A metallic click. Arms. Kota by the gun is hidden in the drawer under the television. A thought he throws out. He looks towards the room. Darkness. A man walks in front of the door. Kota pulls her face to her. Clamps around the mouth. Slowly the man takes the quilt from Kota's side. It's empty. An arm is brought out from the toilet. He lists it against the wall. Label the outlet. 2 contacts. Kota keeps his eyes tight. In 4 quick jerks, he switches the light on and off. Running out of the toilet. Grabbing a tall man. Wedges him into the nearest wall. They shout up, trying to keep all noise to a minimum. Kota reaches out into the darkness. Catches a neck and a shoulder. He leads the person into the charged knee. Back. Into the knee again. A thump is heard. Naegi shouts. The door unlocks. The light pours in. 2 men run off with the girl. 3 men surround Kota. A blow comes at him. Effortlessly, Kota knocks it away. Leaps forward with a tightly packed fist on the man's nose. The blood is coming out. Cartilage flies off. A kick comes at Kota. Hits him on the femur. Kota feels metal against his neck. Hearing the bottom of a rifle hammering in the back of his head. Kota falls down, trying to lift. A kick to the chest. More kicks. Kota curls up. Feel the shoe tips on the spine. On the shoulder. Hastily, Kota wriggles forward. A low kick from floor level. A man roars. Falls down. The 2 men jump back. Dragging the man along. Kota sees the light hit the barrel of the rifle. Aiming at him. They run off. Only they leave the Kota. He gets up. With difficulty. Pain. He sticks his head out from the doorframe, hurrying to take the gun with him. Running off. Out in the parking lot. He looks in through the window. A man hands the old lady a thick wad of banknotes. He spots Kota, runs. Like a deer spotted out in the woods. A car is parked. Gunman burst forward towards Kota. A vending machine becomes his only cover. The cartridges form thick holes in the machine. The metal falls onto Kota in hot, glowing dust. He crawls towards an entrance. Pushes forward, using the legs. The wheels screech, shrill, like a parrot singing. Nayagi's voice drowns out all the noise. Kota looks at his body. No holes, no blood, asphalt only. He brushes himself clean. Feel the many blows. He hums. The plans run through his mind like a washing machine. It would be a failed attempt to continue after them. Only Kota knows what he saw. He strides into the office. The lady sees him, throws away the bills, runs. Kota runs after her, in his half-naked figure. Grabbing the lady's neck. With a violent push and kick to the ankle, she falls headlong into the asphalt. The battle reverberates. Who the hell was that? Screams Kota. He grabs hold of the lady. Turns her around. He holds the gun down by his hip. She cries. Listen, who was it? I asked who it was. Answer me, shouts Kota, angry. He lets go of the lady so that she lands heavily on the asphalt. Pulls out his police badge. Look here, detective. Reading Kota. Who were they? I do not know, she cries. She puts her hands in front of her face. Kota puts the sign in his pocket. Taking the gun up to H. Temple. If you don't tell me right now who it was, I'll blow your brains out. What would you rather have? Die like a roadside animal, or live on with the knowledge that you gave away a girl? How much did they give you? Shouts Kota. He takes the race back so she hears it. How much? Kota is impatient now. 50,000 yen, she answers, sobbing. Her face is red. Blood falls from her forehead. From the front teeth. 50,000 yen. Wasn't a girl's life worth more? Do you know how much your life is worth? No, screams the woman. People have started to crowd together. Out on the concrete balcony. 10 yen. 10 measly yen. Because that's what my cartridge costs. Tengoku de no shi. Tengoku de no shi. It was them. Tengoku de no shi. Just let me go. Kota releases his grip. Stands up. She turns over on her stomach. Rises. Running into the forest. Not even looking back. Kota. He limps back to the room. The door is out of order. It doesn't lock. He lies down in bed. The gun under the pillow. He looks at the clock one last time. 3:43. He hums. Kota lays on his back. Tells himself in a strip. Tengoku de no shi. Tengoku de no shi. He can't sleep. Looking up into the darkness. Think. Tengoku de no shi. Only one man knows more about this than I do. Kota has a plan. An answer. Finally he can sleep.